Season 7 is finito, finished, wrapped up, that is it. We can now finally close the curtain on this game. Just when we thought DICE couldn't get any worse, they fucking done it again. Also, just a heads up before anyone comes steamrolling into the comments, typing with your left hand because you just hit your missus with your right hand for not getting you your 7th Stellar out of the fridge and staining your tight white vest. This is my opinion after playing 2042 since day.release and playing the Battlefield games consistently since Battlefield Bad Company 1. So if you're pissed off, fuck off and take it to Reddit. Battlefield 2042 is officially dead. And by officially dead, I mean it is having absolutely zero new content being added to the game, which means no Season 8. Just when we thought we couldn't be surprised anymore by DICE, official support is being cut for new content after Season 7. They couldn't even make it to year fucking 2 with one more season. They couldn't even push themselves to over community that. Some of you, this isn't really going to matter. You're just going to say, oh, play the game. Just enjoy the game for what it is. Well, you're exactly what's fucking wrong with the game and the reason why stuff like this happens. This game is going to be absolutely in the fucking gutter by the next month. And then when the mid-season update drops, it'll gain a bit of player base again, give it another month or two, and it'll go straight into the ground like it already has. DICE announced today that after Season 7 concludes, we will continue to support the game with new in-game challenges, events, modes, and of course, ongoing maintenance, but we are moving away from delivering official seasons. The reasoning for this is supposedly because it is now necessary for them to turn from the present to the future. Now, I'll have the image up here on the screen so you can read it, but I'm just so baffled as to why the fuck they have announced this now, 3.5 weeks after Season 7 released. Like, how do they do this? How does this just come out of nowhere 3.5 weeks after the fucking latest season drops? No warning, no nothing. They couldn't even leave it to the mid-season when the last bit of content drops. I just can't believe we didn't make it to fucking Season 8. I at least thought we were going to get that. I knew the game was going to end soon, but I thought, Christ, they've done like an official year 1, a pack that you can actually buy on the store. Why wouldn't they finish a year 2? But no, they hung up their gloves, they said, fuck it, we can't be bothered with the Battlefield community. See you later, we're moving on to the next game. It doesn't make sense at all to mention it now, to be honest. I feel like they should have done it in like the mid-season event at least, because that is when the last batch of content's coming out, because obviously it's been delayed. That's when we're getting a new LMG, a new vehicle, and then Stadium. I just can't fathom why, like there was no like run up to this at all. If it just come out of blue. If you like myself though, I think everyone suspected this for a long time, but what didn't make sense to me is why they're doing this for Season 7. Year 1 for Battlefield 2042 includes obviously Season 1 to 4, and then you get the specialists, you get the vehicles, you get the weapons, you can literally buy it as a pack. So Year 2 would theoretically make sense. One more season. We had 4 big scale maps, and then we thought we were going to get 4 64-player mode maps. We had Reclaimed, Redacted, and Haven. Reclaimed is my favourite, to be honest. If they took all of the time and energy they put into remaking the original fucking horrific maps, we would have had another season. They could have pushed out the seasons even quicker, in fact. Oh my god, it pisses me off so much. There's so many easy things, and they just absolutely fucking swerved it and just crashed their car. I'm still baffled by this, and the news come out like fucking 4 hours ago. And I really did think that we were going to get a Season 8. After Season 8, I thought, honestly, that, yeah, this is it. It's curtains for the game. But it didn't make any sense as to why they're finishing it now. I mean, can it really be that hard to just put a couple more months into a game just to bring 3 new weapons, a map, because let's be honest, that's all they do anyway per season, and maybe a gadget or 2. I mean, Season 5 and 6, we got no vault weapons, no specialists, they binned them off. Obviously, I know people don't like specialists, but at the end of the day, less content. We didn't get any map reworks either, because they were done. Season 7 is the least amount of content we've ever had in a seasonal update, and that is it. That is the last thing we got. What also baffles me is why DICE flew out people and sponsored people to stream 2042 Season 7 early. I mean, the only person that was recognisable on the list was Squid G. Everybody else we have never seen in the Battlefield 2042 community. It was just completely random. The streamers must have been paid, but even if they weren't, they were still sponsored. And the fact that they had all these new people streaming the game, which we know don't care about the game, and then, what, 4 weeks later, they just announced, yeah, this is it. Supporting the game with new in-game challenges, events, modes, and of course, ongoing maintenance is just absolutely terrible. We know for a fact that events and modes are just going going to be reused, like control and shutdown. Ongoing maintenance, I mean, God, I mean, we get a patch, what, like every 4 weeks or every month or so? The ongoing maintenance is just pointless at this point. They may as well just call it a day. We still have ridiculously broken mouse input. Recoil bugs as well that were fixed and reintroduced. Now, I don't know if any of this is going to get fixed after what they say with ongoing maintenance support. I assume it's not. That's it. I don't know what the hell maintenance means. Is that just server-side stuff? Because all we're going to get is fixes up until the end of Season 7, if they do that. I mean, they're probably just going to bin it off halfway through when the new maps and stuff release, aren't they? And when they need to balance the new LMG. New in-game challenges, that is daily challenges, which you could literally have an AI bot write up for you because they're that fucking basic. So that essentially means, yeah, we're not getting any content. This is it. The way 2042 is now, it's just how it's going to be forever until the next Battlefield game. We've still got some huge critical features that are still missing from the game, so let's go over them now because more than likely we're never going to see them added to 2042. Number one being a server browser, because I'm sick and tired of playing dead shit maps. I'd honestly enjoy the game a lot more if I could choose what I want to play, because the map rotation system is still broken. Maps like Reclaimed, if they're not on a 24/7 playlist, which Reclaimed isn't and hasn't been since Season 5, you will never see them again. The only way you can find them is by searching for Conquest 64, which has all of the standard 2042 maps. They feel massively dead at times on 128, so 64 you can imagine how much worse it is. You've got to try and skim through all of them maps. Then you have the Exodus Conquest maps. I don't know if any of you are new here, but if you are, you probably don't remember this playlist. Exodus Conquest pretty much had the Portal maps from Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3. I don't think any of the 1942 maps were in there, but these Portal maps had a playlist of their own that would come around every now and then. Quite a while back, that was just chucked into 64-player Conquest, so you'll rarely find their maps anymore. And then Reclaim being the biggest upset for me, trying to find that one map in a mix of all their maps, you're not going to find it. Reasons like that is why we need a server browser. The mouse input is still bugged as hell. Battlefield Comms had reported earlier though that they are looking into the hit registration issues. Apparently a back-end server fix is now being released that alleviates instances of this taking place. I don't know if I can 100% trust this, but the fact that it took 3.5 weeks, nearly 4 weeks for them even to address this is just an absolute piss take in my opinion. I don't know if many of you have seen my short with the Magnum, but yeah, that's a clear view of how bad it is. Portal as well, we still haven't heard anything about that after it was added to the game. We still haven't had any maps added to Portal, which is an easy win for DICE to be honest. We haven't had any Vault weapons brought over either the last 2 seasons, and they're literally sitting on a bank of them that they could bring over. It's just extra content at the end of the day, if you want to call it content, even though it's technically already in the game, like they're doing with Stadium. There's just so many prominent issues still with the game of things that are missing, and they've just called it quits. So this is it. I mean, this is essentially all we've got for Battlefield now until the next game releases, and God knows when that's going to be. I mean, hopefully DICE have learned from their mistakes with 2042, but I'll be honest, I'm really losing faith and hope. And then you got people like Squid G, who are saying they think this is a great choice and it's a great decision for what they've done now. He genuinely thinks that it's a great decision that DICE have just cut it off. Just like that, it's a good place to leave it. I'm surprised he doesn't struggle to breathe with the amount of fucking loads he has taken to the back of his throat from DICE. There's still so many creators in the 2042 space that just don't speak the truth, they're not open and honest. Enders is probably the only outlier who has like a substantial fan base for 2042 and just genuinely gives his honest opinions and says it how it is. Like with Season 7, there was these honest reviews and honest first impressions from plenty of big creators, and no, they weren't honest at all. Their Season 7 reviews weren't even honest. People that don't hold DICE accountable for actions, and then stuff like this happens, then you've got creators with substantial subscriber counts and they're not given the truth. Absolute fucking wankers just sucking DICE off consistently because they want to be at the forefront for attention. They want nothing but to be on the good books with them. Thankfully though, on Twitter, some people are actually seeing the light after Battlefield posted that their podcast was coming out with Squid G. You got absolutely roasted in the comments, to be honest, and I'm not surprised. Like, I've personally got absolutely nothing against Squid G. There's people like this that are just dick riding DICE, and it clearly shows. People are actually fighting back in these comments. People that are promoting this as being the best Battlefield game in the franchise, or even just a good game in general. It's just objectively not. That is not true. And I actually went through the pain of listening to this podcast while I was at work. It's yet again just another episode where DICE don't bring on people that are honest, people that will just agree with them and say what they want to hear. Especially after what happened recently with Shroud talking about 2042. The fact that they paid creators to play the game early, give feedback, and then they just ignored everything. It's like DICE just don't want honest opinions. They don't want people just speaking the truth. And flying people out to then come onto the podcast, just not give honest opinions, they couldn't do it. They can't take the heat. I don't feel like they can even like truthfully answer questions to the camera and put it out. So they're just scared of their own community. The only thing I can say is credit where credit's due. At least they actually posted this and just straight up said, yeah, look, here it is. Season 7's done. No more new content for the game. It's the most honest they've ever fucking been with us. But people like Squid who just promote nothing but positivity for this game when that is just not what it needs. It needs to be critiqued. In fact, every game needs to be critiqued. I get people just want to shroud their channel with positivity and stuff, but when a game is in this state and the devs are treating the game this way and treating the community that's forever been loyal like this, things need to be said. Critique needs to be made instead of being a complete fucking yes man. It's just the way he goes about things and how even though he has a voice, he just continues to dick ride the game, not speak for truth, not critique, like Stratman is literally hanging out the back of him and he doesn't want him to push in any harder. And there are so many people that are liable for this too. I know some people do love positivity. That's what they want to push out on the channel. And I was for the longest time, but then I just got absolutely sick of everything that was happening with DICE. But when you have a voice and devs that will actually listen to you, watch your videos, or take what you're saying on board, you just need to be honest and truthful. Squid's the worst one for it. He is dick riding the most out of any other 2042 content creator. This is why so many people get mad with him on Twitter. So he can stay in the good books. And to be honest, I don't blame him. But when people also part of his EA creator network, I feel like they're just scared to say anything. I mean, Ghost Gaming technically leaked something last year, which wasn't even really a leak. He spoke about one thing in a video and they fucking kicked him out of it. That's how they treat their creators, people that support the game. And I don't know how people can still support them the way they do. These community spotlight episodes should be more than just dick riding a bad game for views. It should be people giving honest opinions, speaking about their experience with the game and ways to improve. I'm just completely pissed off with this entire game and franchise, to be honest. I'm so past it now at this point. I ain't going to be doing much more 2042 content, to be honest. I'm going to try here and there, and I'm going to do videos when obviously the new LMG drops, the vehicle, which I probably am not even going to use, and then obviously the stadium map. But the fact that all this has happened, it's just so jarring seeing it. It's just, oh my God. I struggle. I gotta be honest, I struggle. It's so fucking, oh God. I knew DICE were low, but I never thought they were this low.